at Staples Center.
It's supposed to be like that every
the Rockets.
game.
I know. I'm not complaining. I think it was good. It was 113-102. The Clippers have won 5 straight, which is their season-high winning streak. Clippers, the Rockets lose and have their 3-game winning streak snapped. And now we got some tweets about, after the game, sources from the Clippers telling us that Rocket players tried to rush the Clippers locker room and security has...
First of all, let me get one thing. Let me just say this.
Chris Paul walked into the locker room very upset. James Harden tried to reason with him, and it turned physical.
Well, how the hell does Ashley Brewer know?
Here's Chris Paul.
How does she know?
She's a reporter.
Chris, when you had the tribute video, you got about 3/4 of the crowd standing up giving you an ovation. Did you feel that was enough? Do you feel it was fitting for all you've given this organization?
I don't know. I was actually talking to my coach about the defense. You know what I mean? Like I've said before, I had 6 great years here. Great to see a lot of familiar faces. Tough loss.
Chris, did it feel like a different game for you coming back and playing here at Staples Center against your former team? I know you could tell some of those old Rockets guys it was a little more intense for them.
Somewhat. You know what I mean? They played hard. They played with a lot of energy. We couldn't slow Lou Will down, and we got to be better.
Blake?
Playing against Blake for the first time in many years.
I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, we was trapping. He was able to get through and make plays, and you know.
Blake had
I look forward to playing against DJ probably more than anything.
Blake had to leave the game. Do you think that there was more than just basketball here for him?
I don't know. You got to ask him.
How emotional did it feel out there?
I mean, it's always like that when you hoop, especially when you're playing against former team and stuff like that. All the emotions that go into it, seeing the familiar faces and stuff like that. For us, we got to be better. Get them the credit they won the game.
How did you see what happened with Blake and Mike, if you were able to see it?
Our coach told me he elbowed him, you know what I mean? So then I seen him talking crazy to coach, so I'm always going to have coach back.
What did you say to him?
I don't know. You probably got it. Ain't no telling. All the cameras in there now, you know what I mean? You probably can tell me what I said better than I did. Whatever it was, I'm sure my mama going to tell me to watch my mouth. So.
Thanks.
Anything, Lee? Good? Huh?
Do you expect the game to be this chip, especially later in the
Man, it is what it is. You know, what's today, January something? They got the win. You know, we're going to keep on pushing. Keep on pushing. It is what it is. You know what? This was a good test for us defensively. You know, they always execute offensively. You know, Doc and his sets, screens and, hitting the roll guy and stuff like that. So this was a good test for us defensively, and it just shows us that we got to get better.
Outside of all the storylines on the outside of the game itself, as a competitor, does it bother you a little that this is a team injury depleted right now that still beat you?
Sure. I mean, honest question, no, not really. You know what I mean? I'm sure they ain't making no excuses. We ain't making no excuses either. You know what I mean? We had our full team tonight.
Do you still?
Did we? All right. Come on now.
Do you still hold a special friendship with any of the guys over there?
Oh, absolutely. DJ, I talk to DJ all the time. You know what I'm saying? Damn near every day. Jason Powell, trainer, like I said, sometimes people that you with for a while, they become family. You know what I mean? Wes, John, some of the guys, you know what I mean? But that happens.
Chris, did things get a little chippy in the locker room right there after the game?
I don't know. You know what I mean? We took our loss, you know what I mean? Tough loss. Get up out of here. You know what I mean? I think it's ice headed to Houston.
Did you get a chance to check out the tribute video?
A little bit of it. I was actually over there talking to my coach about the defense. You know what I mean? So I'm honored, privileged, yeah.
Will you be talking to DJ after?
DJ?
Today?
I don't know if he's here, probably. Talk to him all the time.
Look at obviously, this second starting unit now on the field. It's not an assess now, playing against them.
I don't know. They got Lou Will. You know what I mean? Lou Will is the guy. You know what I mean? That's the go-to guy, the guy that they should play through and stuff like that. He having a great year, and he tough. He tough, man. But they play the right way. They share the ball. They move the ball, and it's a good team over there.
All right, Woj has this. Houston Rockets players James Harden, Trevor Ariza, Gerald Green pushed into the Clippers locker room post-game looking to confront Austin Rivers, league sources tell ESPN. Security escorted Rockets out before anything turned physical.
First of all, let me say something. That was one of the worst interviews I've ever seen. You want to know why players hate the media? Every one of those questions were to get Chris Paul to say something bad about the Clippers or Blake Griffin. That's why players, like, I don't mind negativity if something is legit, but if you replay every one of those questions, they wanted him. They asked about, well, first of all, it was dark in the arena. How the hell did only 3/4 of the people clap for him?
Everybody didn't cheer, they heard boos.
Maybe everybody didn't, but they wanted him to say something bad about the Clippers or Blake Griffin. That was
always been like that.
No, come on,
It's always been like that.
No, but
what's always been like that?
The media trying to call stuff.
Because the one thing that, I mean, I'm not saying that you're wrong, Chuck. I'm just saying that we know that there was more to it.
Yes.
So we're going to let you put your foot in your mouth. That's what they're saying.
But
they've been doing that for years. They've been doing it for years.
You picked the wrong cat to try to get to say something. Because Chris Paul,
he's been around too long to feed into that. That's okay. But there are some guys that feed into it.
I know, but
they do that in every sport. They do that. They do it in football. They do it in baseball.
Listen, there's enough animosity without making it up. Like those questions,
people how to do their job.
Those were lead-in questions to try to get some tweets.
We're not in the court of law. Like we don't. It's not like we need the court of law. So I'm not that bad. But I will say this, that that the Clippers, you know, are at the beginning of the year. I think you said it as well. I thought they were going to be a decent team
if they ever get healthy.
But they were healthy at the beginning of the year, and I was like, man, because I obviously live in Los Angeles, I get to see them more. And I was watching, I was like, man, Blake Griffin could be an MVP candidate because we're going to show certain things that he didn't do possibly. He's going to handle the ball more. Then he goes down. Then I'm like, oh, okay, now they're going to be all right. And then DeAndre Jordan.
But they even lost that 9 straight with Blake Griffin in the lineup.
Right, but then Lou Williams comes out and he says, you know what? I'm going to give you something that you've never had. I'm going to give you an opportunity to have a guy you can play through from the perimeter. And in terms of just scoring the basketball. Now, Chris Paul was scoring and assists, but you didn't really always play through him when all 3 guys were there. And I think because you would give it to Blake, you would look for DeAndre in the post or on the pick and roll. But Lou Williams, offensively,
is great.
Has been a guy that they're going
with losses to guys like Beverly's out, Gallinari's out. I mean, Doc's been dealing with it. Doc's been dealing with it all year, putting G League guys in there.
How many guys? I'm going to ask you an honest question, Kenny.
No, man, I might not be honest. I might be Chris Paul right now.
How many guys on these 2 teams you think actually really fight?
I don't know how many guys would fight, but if those 3 guys walked in the locker room, I wouldn't be that fearful. I would just say,
I'm glad you said that.
I'm not saying that they could.
You heard that, Gerald?
I'm not saying they could.
You hear him, Gerald?
But that just would be, I mean, those are guys that have good reputations in the league. They don't have the fighting reputation. Those are James Harden, Trevor Ariza, and Gerald Green are good guys, man. You know that.
There wouldn't be 3 guys who were on the list.
They're not on the list.
Wouldn't be on your list.
They're good guys, man.
Yeah. They'd be on the guy like, let me get my record to 1-0. Get your rematch.
No. See, for you, man,
come on, man.
I just said.
Stop going in the other team locker room like you're going to fight. Stop it.
If we hear any more about...
you're not going to hear any more. They were escorted out.
Then we'll let
you said 3 women security.
Still got a bunch of highlights to come.
Ashley Otis.
Hey, I've been to Staples Center. All them security guys like 82.
Raptors, Sixers in Philly. Highlights coming up. Man. Sixers shot sheet, and I got it. Come on, Chuck. Stop it. Those were legitimate questions by the media. Everyone knows it wasn't a clean break. CP3 wasn't appreciated as much as he should have been. What were they supposed to ask him about? His jacket? Come on, big bro.
Steve, I know you got radio shows and all that other BS to talk about. Give you something for 3 hours, but come on, man. CP3, they broke up. It's over with. Let it go.
No, we ain't letting it go. We want to know why.
We're not going to let it. CP3 handle it well.